Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Guilty as Charged podcast, coming to you live after an awesome, amazing comeback win from the Los Angeles Chargers. We got Tyler being the the car salesman doll over there, welling around. You love to see it. Chargers get a huge win against the Denver Broncos, sweeping the Denver Broncos for the first time since 2010. I was a sophomore in high school at that time. So it's been a hot minute. Huge win. Great performances all around. Can't wait to talk about it with my guy here, Tyler. What is up, man? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. That was wonderful. It started off not wonderful, but ended up being very wonderful. And speaking of car salesmen, wait, I'm getting a call. Hold on. They're asking if this is someone who thinks Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. No, this is Ryan Fitzpatrick. So yeah, if you're still confused, I think that was a pretty good game for one Justin Herbert against a very good defense with one good foot and some of his weapons being hurt and a poor offensive line, or interior, I should say. That was awesome. I have not had an experience watching a Chargers game like that in a while. It's rare you get to watch it with your parents, with your staff members, with Chargers fans, with your students. It was awesome. Watching that game and trash talking some of the other Broncos fans was sensational. I had a splendid time, and I get to go into the Christmas break feeling holly and jolly. Steven, how are you?
I'm doing great. My voice is a little out. I don't think I have yelled during a Chargers game as loudly as I yelled during Gus Edwards' big run and then the Hassan Haskins touchdown, like back to back. Like at my house. Like obviously I've been to games and stuff like that, but like you got a little tickle in the throat. It feels great. You love to see it. The things that Ryan Fitzpatrick was saying about Justin Herbert before this game, both today and on Tuesday on his podcast, are insane to me. And we'll talk about a lot of the other stuff. But today, specifically before this game, he said that Herbert doesn't scramble enough like the other quarterbacks do to create plays for his team, but did not mention the ankle injuries and did not mention that last year he was one of the most efficient and effective scramblers in the league. He said that Justin Herbert does not perform well in primetime games, which is an actual thing that you can look up and Google. He said that Justin Herbert doesn't carry his teams to victory enough. And he says that Justin Herbert is not able to put on the cape like the other quarterbacks and, perform like a Mount Rushmore quarterback, like he said. So those are all things that happened and were said before this game. And Justin Herbert with a big you to Ryan Fitzpatrick and all the haters tonight. So it was lovely to see the juxtaposition of that was great. I'm all about the told you so, the get you back moments, and Justin Herbert provided that and then some tonight. We haven't seen, it's been a couple of games since we've seen the animated Justin Herbert, and he was back tonight in a big way. Are you not entertained? He was pointing at people. It was great to see. I loved it.
It was, man, there's really just nothing like a fired up prime time Herbert. For some reason, you have to be a media member trashing him for no reason, and then he responds in prime time to these moments. The Dolphins game obviously coming to mind. He was, I mean, I don't know. There are better statistical performances, I'm sure, by EPA, QBR, whatever you look at. There are better performances. I'm going to be very difficult and hard pressed. It's going to be very difficult for me to find games I loved more than this one, given the circumstances. And what he did in the second half with the runs, the throws, I mean, yes, there was the interception. I think that was more of a good defensive play in my overall opinion.
I agree.
But they were showing him with, one functioning foot and the other one was just like his toes. He could not put his heel on the ground in this game at one point. Yeah. I don't know what they gave him at halftime, but whatever happened, that second half was, it was truly, truly sensational, electric, outstanding football. And if you have any questions about who Justin Herbert is or why fans like us fall in love with him and support him as strongly as we do, it's because of stuff like that. And I bet you it gets this much attention. I bet you it completely gets lost in future discussions, whatever. I'll remember it as one of the best performances I've ever seen from him.
Yeah, I think there have been better like overall games, right? Like the Vikings game last year, the Packers game last year, some other great performances that we've seen from Justin Herbert, Week 18 Raiders game, stuff like that. I'm sure we could go down the list, the Giants game, etc. But for him to do what he did tonight, coming off the back-to-back losses, dealing with this ankle injury, the offensive line continues to let him get hit at a very alarming rate. We talked about the offensive, schematic issues and functional issues, and for him to just put the team on his back tonight, the scramble throw to Darius Davis was insane. The little forward shovel pass to Hassan Haskins, even to get that ball off, crazy. We've seen obviously some more like highlight level deep passes from Justin Herbert in a game, but tonight it felt like he just like dug deep and had this extra gear to get to. And that's not abnormal for Justin Herbert. But unfortunately, a lot of these, dig deep, put the cape on games for Justin Herbert, the Chargers have lost. And so I'm so happy for Justin Herbert that we get to see a moment like this and he gets to
Yeah.
get rewarded and win the game. That he gets to have teammates show up in big moments. And we'll talk about a lot of these moments tonight. But
Yeah.
Derwin James played awesome in the second half.
Mhm.
It's he kind of sparks the defense tonight. The special teams was great. Was finally some good game management from Jim Harbaugh tonight. So all of these things kind of happen, and so it leads to Justin Herbert having a truly meaningful, standalone, winning performance. And so it's just, I'm so happy for him, and obviously he is going to deflect the credit towards his teammates, towards his coaches.
Mhm.
But this is really the first time where we've seen him have to battle back through a game like this and come out on the positive side, right? So
Yeah.
it's great to see. I'm truly happy for him, and the performances that he put out there, I think, shut a lot of people up for how they've been talking about him this season.
Yeah.
10 different receivers catch the ball tonight. His touchdown passes are to Darius Davis and Hassan Haskins. Like there's not many other quarterbacks out there doing this, what he did tonight. And so it was a treat to watch. The vibes after the interception were horrendous. He came out in the second half and had a whale of a second half. So it's a truly standalone performance from Justin Herbert tonight.
Yeah. And before, I really do think beyond what was called and scripted, Herbert elevated and had to in many moments throughout this game. But if I start our preview show this past week, and both of us did, with going, hey, Greg Roman and this coaching staff, what are you going to do? I really want to make sure I give airtime to Greg Roman and this offensive coaching staff for getting what's clearly a much better game plan this time around Justin Herbert, whether it is just protection, schematic, intention of running, whatever you want to call it. No matter what, if I look at the film and it's maybe not as great as I think, or I don't know. Yes, Herbert did elevate beyond, I think, the play calling, but this was a far better performance from this game. And we really asked, like, what do you got? Like, you are a coordinator deep into your, time as an NFL play caller. You're not a new guy. What can you bring when your backs are against the wall? And I think Greg Roman and this coaching staff really did a tremendous job on a short week against what was the number one defense in EPA in football. So yes, Herbert was sensational. He gets a ton of credit. I think maybe more credit than the calls themselves, but the coaches truly, I think, did a much better job this week.
Yeah. We kind of talked about some of the issues that this, passing game has had over the last few weeks. And you look at week 14 against the Chiefs, they had a play action percentage of 31% on his dropbacks. And the offense looked a lot better that week. But then last week against the Buccaneers, who want to blitz and confuse you and pressure you, they called play action on 25% of his dropbacks last week. That number this week was 47%. So it was a significantly higher rate than what we've seen in the past. And so, we were very critical on this show. I was extremely critical of Greg Roman on Twitter and on Blue Sky and everywhere that I could. I was not having a fun Greg Roman week. And I feel like that was justified. But we have to give credit where credit is due. I think he called a fantastic game tonight. There were still some issues from pass protection and things like that, but they leaned into what they do well, which is play action, and you do wide zone running for the most part. And I think we saw that, again, the rushing attack was not great, but Gus Edwards gets his big moment. And I think Greg Roman called a good game. They ran a couple of screens, which was fun to see for the first time in a while. So again, I'm not going to crown Greg Roman or anything like that, but he deserves credit. Have to give it a hat tip to him for what he called this week, because it worked. I think it was a great plan overall. I generally think more play action for Justin Herbert is good because he's probably the best quarterback in the league on play action. So the plan overall on offense was much cleaner, and I think it showed, right? Like they have not scored 30 points in a very long time, and so they put 34 on a Denver Broncos defense that is very, very good.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we'll see how the film looks overall, and how much Herbert was really having to create, but loved how much guys stepped up. Really loved how much guys that, aren't the typical guys stepped up. Like, Ladd McConkey paced the team, of course, but Hayden Hurst, that was a very, very key catch that he had coming back. And we've given him a lot of...
Dude, the Scott Matlock yards after catch play?
Yes. Incredible. Didn't know he had that in him specifically. Like, of all the things that thought Scott Malik would do there, it would have been like run forward, run backwards, fumble, fall down, and then maybe juke out a defender in the open field and get a first down. That was crazy. Could not believe that. Palmer, that only, quote unquote, only had 41 yards this game. That 2-point conversion catch, which I have in the thumbnail, is freaking awesome. I mean, like, so stuff good. Like that. Darius Davis, his touchdown reception. Stone Smart, several receptions. Tucker Frisk, I believe, had a first down. Hayden Hurst's catch for a first down. So many guys on offense stepped up and just had a little bit more this game. And you could tell, like, with the sum of all the parts together was a win in this game. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think to me, so we can talk about the free kick, and I think we should. But to me, this game really started to turn when Jesse Minter made a few key adjustments. There we go. That was tough. And one of them, which we've been asking for quite some time, is for them to get Tier Tart and Puna Ford on the field at the same time. And the Broncos started this game and they were just gashing the Chargers on the ground. And a lot of it was, like we talked about earlier this week, the 3 technique spot was an issue tonight as well. And so Tier Tart plays 27 snaps tonight compared to Otito Ogbonia's 18. Morgan Fox, still played his usual 32 snaps, but Tier Tart, it seems like he took over that role today, and they were really able to defend the run at a much higher rate because of the presence of those 2 players. So it was a key adjustment. And then the other thing is they started putting Derwin James in the box more often. And when Marcus May went down, like the next 3 drives after that, Derwin was playing free safety the entire time. And then I think Jesse just kind of realized, okay, I got to get Derwin around the box. I got to load up. I got to stop the run. And then we got to blitz more often. So Jesse Minter called an awesome, let's call it 2/3 of the game. The first third I thought was a bit tough, but he made some really key adjustments, and Tier Tart, I think, really sparked things. And then he put Dean Leonard in front of Jasir Taylor in their nickel package, and that started changing things. So those 2 players, I think, deserve a ton of credit for sparking the defense and really turning things around in kind of the back half of the second quarter and into the full second half. The defense was a completely different unit. They were flying around. There was more energy. And those 2 guys, I think, are the key reasons of why this game kind of flipped on its head on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I was obviously, like everybody, very worried after the 3 touchdowns in a row of 75 yards each, I believe, or 70 or more yards. And I'm thinking, okay, so we said patience on this defense, but maybe they truly are just out of guys. They're going to be outclassed. Maybe they are worse than we thought they were. And it was 21-10. And it's kind of like that was it. I know they scored 6 points after that, but one, it was really just the 3, and then the field goal kind of because they wanted to, and because the Chargers kind of were just allowing them to give up time and to waste time on their drives. This performance from Minter in the second half, like I love, because we saw this against the Chiefs as well, and the way he changed everything in the second half against the Chiefs in prime time. For him to once again, against a very good play call, I mean, this is Andy Reid and Sean Payton. I don't know what happened against the Bucs. So Liam Cohen get a head coaching job, I guess. But for him against Reid and Sean Payton to just figure it out in the second half and go, let's do this, or even like you said, like like 2/3 of the game, for him to be able to flip it like that mid-game, get guys to buy in and re-spark the team and re-get that energy. So many times I've seen this team, the energy's gone and the energy is just gone. There's unless the offense like absolutely craps the bed for the opposing side. If the defense doesn't have the energy, they don't get it back later on.
Yeah.
For them to go, okay, we'll do this, this, and this. That'll work. We'll switch this. Okay, execution's better, energy's better. We just won the game. Like, oh my gosh, sensational. So I know about quarter and a half through that game, Chargers fans were like, Jesse Minter's Brandon Staley. But I think second half,
I saw all the tweets
too. You saw them too. I gotta say, he's not Brandon Staley.
Yeah, no, Brandon Staley would have stuck to his guns. It would have been awful. The Chargers would have gotten blown out. Bringing up the energy, I think, is a really key point, because the broadcast, they were giving Bo Nix a lot of love in that first half. It was quite a love fest from Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels, who Al, like, I love, is a legend, but like I'm really over the Al Michaels experience, which we can get into later. But it's 21-10. Justin Herbert throws that interception, and it's like they start talking about the body language of the Broncos and how positive it is, and they're doing like a film cutout of Bo Nix smiling, and like the energy was so awful in the stadium, and you could just feel it through the TV, especially after that interception. And then again, you know, Dean Leonard steps up, he gets a pass breakup, forces the punt right before the half, that leads to the free kick, and then it just kind of felt in the second half that things really just turned on their head. So I think all of us as Chargers fans were probably a little pessimistic heading into this game. You and I picked wins, but I don't know how much faith we had in them actually winning this game. So there wasn't a ton of optimism on social media. I think most of us could agree that the Chargers of old, whether that is under Brandon Staley, Anthony Lynn, or Mike McCoy, lose this game. And then the game started, and the old Chargers definitely lose that game and going away. So to see how this team responded in the second half, it just goes to show the real character of this group, and being able to rally, you know, through adversity of losing last week, through the adversity of not having a great first half. You know, how often we see teams, not just the Chargers, but other teams, you have a horrible first half and it just kind of continues, and it's a lackluster second half and everything like that. So
yeah,
it was just awesome to see this group respond the way that they did in the second half, and you end up coming out with easily the biggest win of the Jim Harbaugh era, probably the biggest win since 2018 for the Chargers. You know, being able to have this moment on Thursday Night Football, and you beat the Denver Broncos, sweep the Denver Broncos. You know, you move into the 6th seed. You have a chance at the 5 seed again. Super meaningful win. And we can do the Gruder thing if we want to. They pulled this win down, and they deserve a ton of credit for the way that they performed the second half.
Yes, absolutely. And so we've talked. I could spend 4 more hours just talking about individual players. You want to talk about that Scott Matlock play for hours? That's fine by me, honestly. Would be remiss if I did not mention, and we did not mention, the special teams performance from today.
Yes. Primetime Fickin', man.
Yes. So 1976, I was not alive then.
No.
It's been a few years later. I didn't know what the heck was going on, and I was in a sports bar, I guess, where couldn't hear what was going on. So everyone
was so confused.
Oh, we were spending 5 minutes going, "What is happening?" Like, I figured I just thought they were going to have another free play, like a 0 seconds on the clock, final play sort of thing. And they trot out Cameron Dicker. I'm like, okay, they're kicking a field goal. That's weird. And then I'm going, what is that? I did not know fair catch free kick thing was a thing. Cameron Dicker did not know the fair catch free kick thing was a thing. He said it until special teams coordinator Ryan Ficken came along. Ryan frickin' mother effing Ficken, primetime Ficken. It's wild that you could say that Ryan Ficken's the best coordinator on the team, given that he's on a team with Jesse Minter and what he's done this season. But Ficken, man, like they say they watch, like they watch. So sorry, per Cameron Dicker and the kick, he said they watch Panthers kicker Joey Sly's 60-yard attempt from 2019 every Friday. Like they are.
That's insane. That's a real sicko mode shit.
That's just, Ryan Ficken's just like, no, you're gonna watch this, and I don't know if we'll ever need it because no one's needed it in almost 50 years, but we're gonna know it just in case. And lo and behold, smooth operation. I had no idea what was happening. Nobody really had any idea what was happening. It was a weird, confusing situation. Ask no problem. Automatic kick. I mean, just incredible. The special teams continue to be outstanding. Nick Neiman, pretty good hands, man. That was a heck of a bounce and a catch there. The reaction there, that was tremendous. That is a contract extension earning thing. You want to hang around with Ryan Ficken and you're Ryan Ficken's guy, you make a catch like that on onside kick, you can stick around for as long as you feel like. So just, again, offense, special teams, defense, three-phase performance that I was truly honored to watch tonight.
Yeah, the special teams was outstanding. The live reactioning of like what's going on during that time, I had no idea that rule existed. So for those of you who missed it, you know, the Chargers call the timeout, they force the punt, and the Broncos player runs into Darius Davis. And so the option that the Chargers get is one untimed down, or you have this fair catch free kick rule, which I had no idea. Again, I had no idea that this existed. I knew about the untimed down thing, and maybe I just didn't know about it because most teams in those situations generally take the untimed down. They throw a Hail Mary, something like that. And so Justin Herbert trots out onto the field, and I'm thinking like, okay, they're gonna try and get the points here. They'll just, you know, chuck it to the end zone. We'll see what happens. And then the rules analyst hops on, is like, well, there's a chance that they can kick this. And even Kirk Herbstreit was like, you want to explain that? Because we don't know what's going on. And at first, the guy says that they could kick a potential 65-yard field goal or take the untimed down. And I was thinking like, okay, 65 yards, that's probably a little rich for Cam Dicker. You know, probably still trust Justin Herbert in this instance. And then the referee on the field clarifies that it would be a 57-yarder. And I was like, boom, 3 points. Cameron Dicker is good. Easy money.
Yeah.
And so you see live, like Ryan Ficken is talking to Jim Harbaugh, and they're talking about all of the and you could see both of them just kind of trying to figure out where they were going to put the ball, what they would do if Justin Herbert was going to, kick the pass or throw the pass, excuse me. And it was just like, I've never seen anything like that. I don't think anybody listening to this chat was alive in 1976. Pretty fitting that the last time this happened was the San Diego Chargers at that time. So
yeah.
These are the kind of things that you need to kind of just give you an edge in a game like this. And so Ryan Ficken preparing like this, making his special teams unit watch a kick from 2019 every Friday. That's some true sicko mode shit from Ryan Ficken. Outstanding job by him. Cameron Dicker, obviously, it was easy. It was like the easiest kick I've ever seen him kick, I think. When he started to go back, he only went back like 4 steps, and I was like, I think he can keep going, but he just easy peasy kick, man. And it really helped the Chargers. I think it gave them a lot more confidence heading into the second half. So again, just hats off to Ryan Ficken and Cameron Dicker, Jim Harbaugh calling that timeout. It was great to see.
Yeah, apologies to everyone born in the 70s. I didn't realize. I'm sorry, Eric, Damage, Michael, the Mighty.
Sorry, guys.
Blaine, Jimmy, Jim. I'm so sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry. To be fair to me, on YouTube, you can look at the demographics, and like 85% of our audience is under 50. So I apologize, guys.
because all the ones over it are dead. No, I apologize. Please don't hit the dislike button.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, where was I going with any of this? Yay, Ryan Ficken. I forget where I was going. I am so sorry. Yeah, shots fired at the 15%. Yeah, Timothy, kiss my ass. Brad, 1970, 1953. Do we have 1952? 1952.
Wow.
Holy cow. All
I'm
right.
so sorry, guys.
Sorry, Mom.
Like that.
Sorry, Mom. I apologize. My mom's actually only like 35. So, congratulations to her. Born around in the 70s. I'm sorry, everybody. Hey, but the only thing that's over 100 here is Tara's freaking super chat, dude. Holy cow. Tara with $100 super chat here. Let's freaking go. Herbert is him. I have no words for how happy I am right now. Swept the Broncos and the Raiders are in shambles. Greatest win in the Harbaugh era and so happy for the players. Appreciate you guys as always. $100 super chat. Holy moly.
That is incredible stuff right there.
Is it worthy of a handstand?
I think so. I can't do a handstand, so that's all you.
Yeah. You thought I was talking about me? Oh man.
Oh, that's obviously Tara's in here, quite often. It's fantastic, the support that people give us every single week. It really, really does mean a lot. I'm sorry, guys, in the chat. I'm not even going to try to do that. I also don't have space, even if I wanted to. I have never done one in my life, so that is not happening. It's I would imagine it was a little bit of a conflicting feeling for Tara because she is an Oregon fan. So being able to see Justin Herbert versus Bo Nix, it was probably pretty fun. But I do agree, great win for the Harbaugh era for sure.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so much. I mean, Tara's in here and has, I know for sure, gone over $100 overall, but in one single super chat, holy cow. Super generous. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, there was another thing I was going to point out about somebody, and now I forget.
Okay, so if I do a handstand, will you do pass blocking sets the whole time?
Sure, I guess.
Done. Here we go.
Okay. This is what you guys wanted, I guess. And yes, I'm wearing my pajama pants right now. Don't judge me. Oh my gosh. Nobody clip that shit. Oh my gosh. This is great. I love it.
Ow. Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Eli, you think we win a playoff game with what's going on?
Hey, no, you just wait till we win the playoff game.
Yeah.
You better bet your ass you better be on our live stream if they win a playoff game.
Yeah, we have not done this podcast since they won a playoff game. So yeah, when that happens, it's gonna go crazy.
No. Yeah, I will. You'll have to call an ambulance because I'll be dead after the backflip I try, but
oh my gosh. This is what we do for you guys. Don't say we never do anything for you.
You literally cannot find that content anywhere else. Okay.
That also was not going to happen if I didn't throw people under the bus. So there's my apology. That's how you know it's sincere for you guys.
Yes, exactly. Man. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love it. If the Chargers win a Super Bowl and we're still in the podcast, I will attempt a handstand. Yes.
I'll do pass sets. How about that? Is that fair? Is that
there you go. We'll switch.
I'll do the
if the Chargers win a Super Bowl, Tyler and I will try and recreate the white chick stance. How about that?
Oh, 100%. First off, I'll just do that if they have the lead in the playoffs at any time.
Yeah.
No, but if they win a Super Bowl, sure, I'll do the white chick stance. Whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
The chat is so much fun tonight. I love it. This is
Yeah,
great.
man. This is good.
Dude, the vibes are so much different. Last week we were all ready to kill Greg Roman. Like I have never been more upset watching game film than Monday night this week, and now here we are doing a handstand and pass sets on the live stream. What a night!
Yeah, no, good stuff. Only because they won, though, right? It's a very, very different. Yeah, the only flipping I'd be doing is flipping off if they lost this one, but they won, so I'll do some handstands.
They won. Let's just get into some of the other super chats, shall
Perfect.
we?
Yeah, why not? Let's just vibe the rest of the way. Who cares about structure?
Yeah. All right. Dark Samus, always with the draft stuff in here. I appreciate it. Tyler Booker is the Joe Alt of guards. Think about it. That's the Alabama guard for those who don't know. I have not watched, so I do not have an opinion. But taking in another first round offensive lineman for the fourth time in the last 5 years, it does sound like Jim Harbaugh.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Yeah. And I guess I'd be down for it. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this player, by the way, other than his great first name.
And he plays at Alabama. So there you
go. Yeah.
Some people would say you stay far away from Alabama offensive linemen. My wife, Brooke, is watching, I think, and just texting me a laughing emoji face. So, hi, Brooke. Anyways.
Tell us about Steven's old playing days, Like,
we didn't know each other then.
Oh, never mind. Don't tell me about that.
We met in college when I was washed up. But Brooke and I did play on a intramural basketball team together, and we won the championship our senior year. So, it was pretty fun.
Heck yeah.
That's right. Brooke hit a 3 to win the game, too. It was great.
Oh, wow. All right. A lot of clutch threes.
She was a much better shooter than I was in basketball.
Yeah, nice.
Kurt says he attended the game, lost my voice, but in such a good mood. I may still go to work tomorrow, bolt up. Thankfully, they won, because if they lost, I think I probably would have called in sick for sure, because we would have raged about that game.
Oh, dude, if that first 3 drives was how the game was going to go, thank goodness tomorrow is a minimum day for our school, and I have to be there because the whole ASB thing. But yeah, the German podcast that is, I was talking to the Blitz Talk podcast. They mentioned they start their games at like 2 a.m, and then whatever happens at 5 o'clock, they get ready for work and go to work. I can't imagine doing that, but they won.
Yeah.
So kind of like us, we're just vibing off of vibes.
Yeah, shout out to the European Chargers fans, man. There's a couple podcasters out there doing great things. Obviously, the Aussies as well. I've messaged a few of them recently because Brooke and I are thinking about going over to London this summer. So appreciate all of them. Some of them have been offered to give me tours when we're in London. A couple offered to let me and Brooke stay at their house. So some truly great people out there in the UK that are representing Chargers fans.
That's amazing. If any Chargers fans live on an island in Greece, I'd be happy to stay at your
Nice.
house.
Nice. Caesar says they found a way. No other notes. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's the thing. Like this whole game, have we talked negatives other than the first 3 drives? Not really. This is one of those games I don't really care to talk about the negatives.
Yeah.
They found a way.
Yeah. This next one in here from Austin Xavier says, "Bolt the F up. Merry Christmas, Bolt gang. See you in Buffalo." I don't think we'll see you in Buffalo after that game tonight. The Chargers obviously moved to 9-6. The Broncos are basically 2 games behind the Chargers at this point in time. There's a chance now that the Broncos flat out miss the playoffs if they lose at Cincinnati next week. It gets a little dicey for them. So, Sean Payton thought he could work the system a little bit and accept this Thursday night football game, and now it might work against them. So I hope he has a wonderful, awful time in Cincinnati next week.
Oh, man. Joe Shiesty, man. Big fan next week. Big Joe Burrow stan, as always, of course. Them not going to Buffalo is fantastic. I'm not saying it's an easy out by going to Pittsburgh by any means, but I definitely didn't want them to go to Buffalo. So I'm happy.
Yes, we are big Joe Shiesty fans the rest of the way. We are big Russell Wilson fans as well. because the Steelers could potentially knock the Chiefs out of the 1 seed and knock the Ravens out of the 5 seed. So big Russell Wilson fans the rest of the way. And we appreciate Austin in here for sending in the big super chat. Zachary Garcia, I like that I got to see a good second half for the first time in what feels like forever. Also love the podcast. This is my first time listening live. Well, you picked a heck of a show to join for the first time.
We don't normally do handstands and pass sets, but we also rarely see games like that either. So
no.
Yeah, Zachary Garcia, thank you for first time listening live. I feel like the last couple of weeks we had a few people with the new listeners live sort of thing. A lot of new people in the chat. Love it, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. They've truly, like, the script flipped. Al Michaels was pointing this out. The Broncos usually are horrible first half team, great second half team. The Chargers are the opposite. And tonight we got the inverse of the two teams. So I'll take it. I will take a great second half over a great first half every single time.
Correct.
Joe Alexander, was such a fun game. I have no voice, but does Greg Roman deserve praise for adjustments, or was it just our talent? But this was a JH10 game for Fitz laughed at.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, okay. I got it. Good.
That's
good
a rough one. We got to workshop the Fitz laughed at. Fitz fat. I don't know. No, I got nothing. Never mind. That wasn't any better.
Yeah, but like we said, much better, approach from Greg Roman today. How many rush attempts did they end up with today?
28 as a team, but 8 from Herbert. I think that might have included a kneel down, but 14 from Gus Edwards, whereas generally he's hovered between like 8 and 10. 5 from Kamani Vidal, and then 1 from Darius Davis that I'm having the third down call.
Yeah,
like the very first series.
The very first one. So 20 from the non-Herbert ones. I think 2 Herbert design runs. I think the other ones were all scrambles, and then the kneel downs.
1 on the 2-point conversion.
Not crazy about that. I was not crazy about that.
Like, oh, okay. I mean, listen, I didn't see it coming. You're gonna make your hurt quarterback do what? Nah, they wouldn't run that. And it almost worked, I guess.
Yeah, it was very close. Who cares?
Yeah.
Appreciate Joe. Eric in here says, do you believe in Darius Davis yet, Steven? There's your tape, bud. I'm not going to say anything negative here. Darius Davis deserves a lot of credit for converting that touchdown on a scramble drill. So shout out to Darius Davis, and I appreciate the pettiness from Eric sending in a super chat to prove his point. So thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Gabriel Stone, what the are you laughing at? Can't wait for the mic'd up. Yeah, it seems like Herbert was mic'd up today. Did you catch his pregame moment from this?
Yes, that specific moment, absolutely. Love that.
Yeah, always love a Justin Herbert animated moment. It's a rare time, but we love to see it when it does happen. Gabriel was back with the second one saying, "Let's go." We appreciate it. Richard said he's ready to put Steven in at RG. I want Justin Herbert to survive. I am not blocking Chris Jones, so that will not be happening. But I appreciate the confidence here.
Yeah, no thanks.
Thanks, Tyler.
Hey,
you're just going with it. I got it.
Yeah.
Tyler's mom in here says, "What a win! We appreciate you guys. Were all together tonight, then."
Yeah, my mom got off of work and drove down for like the last third or so of the game, and that was the comeback. So again, my mom, good luck charm.
Yeah, there we go. We did not have to sacrifice a chicken tonight, so I guess maybe we could do that for a playoff game. I don't know.
Once again, I'm ready to do whatever I got to do.
Yeah, we will do our part, clearly, as we showed tonight. Nicholas said that was the greatest 5 seconds in YouTube history. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next time we do something like this, I will not be in my PJ pants. So.
Oh, you were? That's incredible. I was upside down. I couldn't tell.
I didn't feel like putting on like a second pair of clothes today, so I just put on my PJ pants.
Awesome. The worst thing is that the Chargers will like clip it somehow, and it's you doing pass sets, and just the internet's just gonna go ablaze.
I will do pass sets in my PJ pants for any Chargers win, whatever it takes. I will do my part.
Sounds good. That's true. At least you had pants on, says Thomas.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could have been much worse. Oh my gosh. I
That,
love
that
it.
takes reach block to a whole new meaning.
Heck yeah. Rick Rack says electric win, offensive special against a great defense. Thoughts on a good bit more of DD and Dean Leonard? Leonard was
Mhm.
fantastic. Thank you both.
Yeah. The performance against the defense, incredible. What they were able to do against this defense was outstanding. And you can't even say like, oh, Surtan was hurt and banged up. Like he practiced in full for 3 days. So it was pretty good go from him. Not that they picked on him, obviously, but they were ready to rock. Bit more Darius Davis. Yep. Dean Leonard, fan of Dean Leonard. Has never had like a longer stretch of games like Cam Hart has had. But in some moments, I've really liked what he can bring.
Yeah, I mean, he still only played 8 snaps on offense, so he's still a gadget player. But yes, I want to see him get more touches. I was not crazy about pitching him the ball on 3rd down, but you can do that on 1st down. I'm cool with it. But yeah, that was interesting. But Dean, I think that's got to be so rewarding for him. Being injured and being kind of passed on the depth chart by some of these other guys, because he was very firmly ahead of Cam Hart and Tarib still in training camp, in preseason, all of that stuff. And then just like unfortunate timing for him. As soon as Asante gets injured, he also gets injured. And then Tarib still just kind of takes a job and runs with it. So you got to feel good for a guy like Dean Leonard, who's working so hard to have this kind of moment and played well. Had 1 pass breakup and I think 1 other forced incompletion tonight on PFF. So great game from him. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come, because they need it, man. I mean, I don't know if you noticed this in the game, but they showed Elijah Molden walking around on the sideline, and it was a significant lip. And then Marcus May gets injured.
Yeah.
Obviously, the cornerbacks are thin, so they were playing. I feel really bad. I guess I can look this up.
I'm gonna pull us out of nowhere. Is it Kendall Williamson or am I
Yeah,
high?
I think
That was
so.
it?
I think so. He played like a lot in the second half. So the Chargers secondary is just going through it right now from an injury perspective. I was kind of curious, once Marcus May went down, maybe they would put Dean at safety. But he stuck on the outside and had some really good moments. So big shout out to him for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Isaac says, boy, can this team respond? Love to see it. Beautiful handstand. Bolt TF up.
Thank you. Still got it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're in shape. I am not in shape, so you can still do stuff like that.
Yes, but then, yeah, thankfully I wasn't born in the 50s. I'm just kidding.
That was your fault, not mine.
I'm gonna get killed. I can't. I'm gonna hate being older because some punk kid's gonna roast me one day. I'm freaking pissed, and I'll break my legs trying to do a handstand.
Okay, so that's really funny because I woke up on Monday and my foot really, really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember doing anything to it. I think I just slept on it weird. I don't know. And I was
down.
I don't know. I literally don't know. I woke up on Monday and I got out of bed and I was like, what the shit is up with my foot? I couldn't put any weight on it or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first time I ever experienced feeling as old as I am.
Yeah, all 30 of you. 31 soon. 31 soon. Yeah,
31
I've got like
weeks.
the stiff ankle thing going on now, where I wake up and it's like, how am I supposed to walk? I gotta cut it off, I guess. Then you slowly start working into it. Again, like these things that were like, why football players need to be tougher or whatever. Go out there and tough it out. And I can barely walk to use the bathroom because I'm like a clubbed foot feeling going on. Anyway,
Janet says, wait until your 40s. Thomas says that's called plantar fasciitis. I don't know. It might be. I just woke up and could barely walk.
Yes, imagine sleeping so hard your foot hurts.
Yeah, I must have been out. Anthony Navarro in here with a simple lightning bolt super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Anthony, as always.
Don Cheto says, love seeing pregame Herbert fired up. The squad, so much development. Also feel like a lot of missed roughing the passer. The refs did show us love in the second half, he says.
Yeah, I thought if you're going to go compare both sides, I do feel like the refs did help out the Chargers a bit. But there were some late hits on Herbert I was surprised weren't called.
Yeah.
And I was surrounded by Broncos fans, and they were like, "Wow, I'm surprised that wasn't called." But then the non-PI on still was fortunate.
It was. I probably would not feel this way or if I were a Broncos fan, but anytime you throw a ball that poorly, I feel like you should not get rewarded with the penalty. Like Bo Nix underthrew that ball by like a good 10 yards. So blame Bo Nix, Broncos fans.
Yeah,
Also,
to be fair, terrible.
When he tried to throw that pass forward on that scramble, I was like, what the shit is this guy thinking?
This honestly, my first thought was, oh God, I genuinely thought they did something like legal that was going to ruin the Chargers and yada yada.
Yeah.
I panicked.
Okay, that's totally fair. Travis in here with a big super chat says, got back to FU Herbert mode. It was great to see. He says, Steven, keep your head on a swivel. Don't want you looking like Pipkins out there. That's mean. Trey's a great NFL athlete, and I am not, so I can't make fun.
It's true.
But I appreciate the comment. Head on a swivel definitely is something you have to have as an interior player.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
Harbaugh, yes. Harbaugh's disciple says it's late over here on the East Coast, so I'm tapping out. I'll be there in Foxborough next Saturday. Nice. And as always, FTB. Fuck the Broncos. Yes. There's I feel like a decent amount of Chargers fans that say they are going to be at this game. So hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining than the last time the Chargers play in New England.
What was it? It was 6-0. Was that the last time? Steven's coughing. He's both old and his leg hurts, and now he's got a cough.
The foot is fine now. The foot is good now. It was Monday and Tuesday, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be fun though. I mean, we're not getting the Bailey Zappi game, and we're not getting the Brandon Staley experience, so it should be a more fun game from that side of things. Drake May's a fun little rookie prospect.
Was that Patriots game like the Austin Eckler reverse call on like 3rd and 14 that went for like -12?
I don't remember, but I mean they scored 6 points, so that wouldn't shock me.
I don't even know how they scored 6. I don't even remember what they did.
It wasn't even like snowing that hard, was it? It was just like cold and like
raining. I don't remember it being a snowy thing. It just was, and then who's the receiver they just cut? He was out of bounds by like a tiny bit, and they actually genuinely could have scored on that drive. I don't know. Bad game.
Yeah, not fun. Hopefully this one is much more fun, and hopefully the Chargers can get their 10th win for you guys. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Nitzer666 for the number of years cheering for this team. Merry Christmas, GAT crew. We appreciate that. Obviously, Christmas is right around the corner, so hopefully you guys all have a wonderful holiday and a great time celebrating with your families.
Yes. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that stuff. Some of you guys are lying about your age, and you're saying you're from 1928. But if you'd like to send in a super chat that matches your age, just like he just did, then go for it. I don't believe Tara's 100, but you can pretend to be with whatever age you want for that $100. So do it.
Yeah, I think you guys should all follow the trend here and do the same thing.
Exactly.
Steven Nava says they got to pick up doing smelling salts. They sure did. The Barstow guys all caught it and had it as football guy was the caption. So it was good.
Nice. I missed it.
Our Doug, I don't know if there was a question in here. Great picture of your dog. Love that. But if you do have a question, feel free and send one in and we will address it. Otherwise, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, our Doug.
Same thing with Christian Escamilla. If you want to do the same thing, send it on in. Sergeant Slaughter says he has the same PJ pants. The butt flap is a great addition. Mine do not have the butt flap. They're just regular pants. So for what it's worth.
I would have asked you to show me. Not your ass, but just specifically.
Oh my gosh, I'm dead.
We're the worst. Why do you follow us?
Oh my gosh, I'm so dead. We love you guys. This is a great chat. We've got 800 people in here right now. It's fantastic. Yes, definitely off the rails right now. Reagan, calm down.
You know, I can't even say my next comment. I'm holding that one back. Never mind.
Appreciate Thomas Norris in here for the next super chat. Oh my gosh, what a night! What a night! Yes, R Doug with another one here. Swept the donks with the Donkos. Let's sweep the rage herds. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yes, very, very true.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's like you said, it's been a while since they swept the Broncos. Sweeping the Raiders will feel fantastic. Pass blocking from Steven and handstand from Tyler. Stream of the ages. I will do a handstand in pajamas with an ass flap if they win a Super Bowl.
Again, we will do whatever it takes. This is kind from Frank. Steven, you are not that out of shape. Killed me on the Peloton. I appreciate that.
Ooh, I think, yeah, Frank's, I'm sure, a pretty active, fit guy. So nice job on the Peloton. All right.
I actually just hit my 500th ride on the Peloton yesterday. So,
jeez. Yeah, good for you, man. That's awesome.
I'm working on it. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else.
It's only been 51 minutes.
I know. There's another question in here, but
the stream ended at 28 minutes, by the way, everybody.
Yeah. The Patriots did sign Alex Erickson to the practice squad this week. There is a chance that the Chargers will have to face Alex Erickson next week, which I would not have guessed. But shout out Chargers legend, who was their leading receiver for the Easton Stick experience.
Yeah, what was his final yardage total? It was I didn't expect whatever it was. Erickson stats. It was like actually not bad that previous year. Yeah, I mean, where is it? Chargers. Yeah, 232 yards, man, in 3 starts.
There was a couple like really good games in there. Yeah.
Yes. No, like legitimately good stuff.
Yeah. FPS Gandhi says a very dense episode. Yeah. I don't think we've ever had an episode like this, but first time for everything.
Yeah. No, they go and beat Pittsburgh. You better be here. Bring your popcorn and a chicken.
Michael Schmidt and anyone else wondering, I am at S Haglin01 on Peloton.
I'm not on Peloton.
It's a good time. I like it.
But I can bench a 45-pound plate, which I've been asked if I could. Like that was something.
It's not like that's
ask about.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, this is. I'm glad Zachary brought this up specifically for Ladd. I did not know this stat heading into today, but he became the first rookie wide receiver to go over 50 yards in 9 straight games since Odell Beckham Jr. in 2014, which is kind of crazy that that was that long ago. So he had 87 yards today, which I think means he's like 100 yards away from surpassing Keenan's record for most yards of any Chargers rookie.
Yeah, pretty close.
He had 6 receptions, which I think means he only needs 2 more receptions to break Keenan's reception record for a Chargers rookie. The guy we liked Ladd a lot. We were obviously very excited when the Chargers drafted him. He has exceeded all expectations for me that I had heading into the season. I was expecting, on the higher end, maybe he gets you like 750, couple touchdowns, 55, 60 catches. He's like 3rd in the AFC in yards right now. A lot of injuries at that position in the AFC, but he's been objectively, from a numbers perspective, from a film perspective, one of the better receivers in the conference so far this season. He's got one of the highest success rates against man coverage. And Matt Harmon, who does the reception perception, was on the Athletic Football Show. And he said that Ladd has the best film of any rookie receiver in this class. Like, there are people around the league who love watching Ladd on tape. And I get it. He's an awesome player. And every time he plays, like, he just goes out there. He gets open. He creates yards after the catch. He created 4 first downs tonight. Like his yards per route run is over 2.3. Like he's a stud, man. And I really do think, I know people keep on trying to say they need a wide receiver one. I think it's Ladd. I really do. I think he can be the wide receiver one in this offense. But they definitely need a better number 2 option behind him.
Yeah.
But he's been fantastic, and I love watching him play. So if I were anybody on the fence of getting a jersey, Ladd is a great call right now.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many players whose jerseys I feel like I need to get. We have this discussion a lot on these live streams, but McConkey's pretty safe one. 960 receiving yards. I believed, like I think even on the live show when they drafted him, I said like this is a 1,000-yard receiver in the NFL. I didn't think it was like now. I didn't think, especially with we didn't know how much Greg Roman was going to run the football or not run the football. I kind of hope for more, maybe for some other receivers. But McConkey, the fact that he's going to cross 1,000 receiving yards, it's unbelievable. And we loved him, but I did not expect that at all.
Yeah. And I do agree with Thomas. They do need a real true tight end. It's the Stone Smart resurgence has been fun. I think he's interesting enough to keep obviously next year, but they do need a real tight end. FBSs, they do need a true X. They do, and they do need all of those things. But I think Ladd has shown enough for me to say he can be the highest target getter on this team. And what's crazy about him is they don't give him any of the gimmies. Like he doesn't get the gadget touches. He doesn't get the screen passes. We've seen like a couple, but everything he does is all intermediate stuff. He's not running any Mickey Mouse routes. He's getting all the hard stuff, and he's going to cross 1,000 yards. Excuse me. Assuming everything goes well, he's going to lead the class in yards per route run. Yeah, man, he's been everything I could have dreamed for and then some.
Yeah. And it's an easy argument for, well, we have to take a receiver in the first round. Well, depending on the class and depending how you feel about where you are, you could wait. Now they will not be picking that early in the second round, but yeah, you can obviously wait.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a similar discussion for how the Chargers could approach tight end in the draft this year. It sounds like it's a great tight end class, so I know everybody right now wants Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren. I have not watched those players on tape yet. But yeah, like Jordan Reed, Dane Brugler, all these guys have 6, 7, 8 tight ends in the top 50. So it'll be interesting to see what the Chargers approach is there. But I do agree they do need like a true legit tight end one. But they also need a few other things as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don Chetos wants to know our thoughts on the Quentin Johnston drop. I hate to hear the shiz he gets always in prime time too. Casuals don't understand the leap he's taken.
Yeah, that was a bummer. Thankfully, it didn't matter because I think the next play was that the not Willis.
That was when Herbert scramble. Yeah.
Oh, the Herbert scramble. Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't matter, thankfully, but I can tell you that everyone in the sports bar was like pretty upset, and specifically like, oh, there goes Quentin Johnston again.
Yeah. So I thought that his like body language and response afterwards was fine. Like it wasn't as bad as the Ravens game where you could tell like instantly after the Ravens won, like he just was beside himself. So I think Quentin will have, a better game when he's not playing against Patrick Surtain for most of the night. So we'll see. It was an awful drop. It didn't impact the game, which is good. Thankfully, Justin Herbert scrambled and they went and scored the touchdown, but I do agree. There's still a lot of, negative connotation around him, but he's, when you look at the season as a whole, like he's played very well this season. He's taken a major step forward. He's second in the AFC in touchdown receptions behind Jamar Chase. So he's having a good season overall, but the drops have been a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Christian says, can you dedicate chat and the win to my wife, Jackie? I don't know if something in particular is going on there, but shout out to Jackie and Christian. Hope you guys are well. Hope you have a great Christmas. And yeah, we can dedicate the chat and win to Jackie for sure tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Christian, obviously. But yeah, thank you, Jackie. Hopefully all's good. But yeah, dedicate the chat and the win and all that to you. Hope all's well.
Agent Tricks in here next. Again, don't know if there was a question here, but thank you for the super chat. Feel free and send in a question. We'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Caesar says that he thinks they're phasing the Navy gear. Could have sworn I heard a pregame announcement about an extra discount on Navy gear. They're well past due for a throwback. I will say that, but I don't know. You got nothing?
Well, I do, but
anyways, Phineas Henry wants Ashton Genty through a trade up.
I don't know. How far are we going here?
Yeah, there's a lot of people telling you to spill the beans, but obviously you cannot, which is good. The Ashton Genty conversation, I think, is going to be really interesting. To me, he's a top 10 pick in this class all day long. But trading up to get him, you'd have to go up a long ways if you're getting to the top 10. So luckily for the Chargers, this is a really, really good running back class. And Thomas Martinez, who's in the chat, can kind of vouch for this. But there's Caleb Johnson from Iowa. There's a couple other ones in here. Obviously, Cam Scadaboo is going to be in this draft. He feels like a Harbaugh guy from ASU. There's a good amount of running backs, which is good, and there kind of are always. I mean, Bucky Irving was a 4th round pick last year, and just shredded the Chargers. Omarion Hampton from North Carolina is a name that I've heard a lot. Judkins from Ohio State as well. Right on cue, Thomas says there are so many running backs.
Good, fantastic.
I understand why you would want Ashton Genty, but I'm not trading up into the top 10 for a running back, respectfully.
Oh, yeah, that's the cost. No, thank you.
Damian Martinez from Miami is another one, previously Oregon State. So, yeah, there's a lot this year, which is the Chargers, I think, would be wise to invest another pick into one. Because Haskins will be back. He's on the last year of his rookie contract next year. Obviously, Vidal will be back. Gus is technically going to be on the roster. I don't know if that's going to stick or not. And then I don't know, man. J.K. Dobbins was on pace for like 1,200 yards rushing before he got hurt. So I would not rule out a potential re-signing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, draft talk. Like I know kind of very basic. Like I know names. I have not watched any tape. So there are some prospects who kind of stood out from last year's tape. Like I feel comfortable evaluating Colston Loveland if I needed to. But he's one of the few ones that I feel like I could actually talk about. So
yeah,
most of our draft stuff is going to be, probably a couple months from now.
Oh yeah. And thankfully the Chargers will probably have less draft coverage than usual because the Chargers are actually going to be in the playoffs and maybe even win a game.
Yeah. At this time last year, we were obviously season was over. It was post Raiders game.
Yeah.
So I think we were doing a mock draft on this exact date at this time last year. So
that sounds about right. The season was over 4 days ago last year or 5 days ago last year. So yeah, that's pretty good.
I think we had watched like 3 players each, and we were like, let's do a mock draft.
Let's do it. Who cares? I think we probably took like Brock Bowers or something.
Probably. Which has turned out well.
Yeah.
Travis in here next says they don't need a wide receiver 1. They need an above average X receiver. I think it's about finding a complementary skill set for Ladd.
Yeah.
And so because he's doing so many intermediate routes, they do need like a true vertical threat. And you can get that with a boundary X receiver. You can get that with somebody like Darius Slayton, for example, who's a free agent. There's a few ways they can go about improving this wide receiver room, but starting with Ladd is a great place. Quentin presumably can take a step forward again next year. So you get a couple more vertical threats. Like they want to push the ball downfield so often, and luckily tonight they kind of learned their lesson and had some checkdowns built into the game plan, and Herbert was able to take advantage there. But they do need a couple upgrades on the vertical threat department.
Yeah, definitely.
So luckily, the Chargers are going to have potentially up to $100 million in cap space and can kind of figure that out, and 10 draft picks as well.
Yep.
All right, man. What a night. I think this is probably one of my favorite episodes we've ever done, and we only talked about the game for like 25 minutes.
Yeah. No, that was a blast. That was a blast. Obviously, it's a lot more fun when they win. Yeah. Fun when you guys contribute, either super chat, comments, egging us on to do a handstand or a pass set or whatever. Awesome night, awesome win. I had a great time. Thank you to everyone who came to the fundraiser, all my kids, the parents, the fans, my parents. It was fantastic.
Yeah, great turnout in the chat. We almost hit 1,000, which I think this is our most watched live stream during a game in a few weeks, which is great. 36 super chats. So sincerely, thank you to all of you guys. We got a couple huge ones in here as well. So it always means a lot, the support that we get from you guys every single week, even when the team is bad. Like there were a couple games last year where we were still getting chats like this. So it's obviously means a ton to us that you guys tune into this show and see us do pass sets and handstands. So it's truly fantastic. A great night for the Chargers. I am super excited to go watch this film tomorrow, and we'll let you guys know when we have our next episode here. So we appreciate you guys so much. This has been another episode of the Guilty as Charged podcast. See you next time. As always, bolt up.